G'day everybody, welcome to Greens and Gains. Come and join me and my mate Lee. I'm a physio, 3-part wizard and golf addict. And Lee is a PGA pro, a rugby league degenerate and an absolute freak on the golf course. Greens and Gains is two blokes having a chat about how to improve your golf game and feel better about yourself. Why don't you come and join the fun?
Well, hello everybody. Lee and Tommy here from Greens and Gains. I hope everybody who had a wonderful Father's Day yesterday. I know I had a great Father's Day myself, and happy Father's Day to my dad and my father-in-law, Pete. I'm very lucky to have some father figures in my life. Tommy, how did you spend Father's Day, mate?
Well, I am currently not a father. I'm actively avoiding it. So I had a pretty nice day. We're actually driving back from the snow down to Victoria, or the lack of snow. But I had a lovely day, rung my dad, spoke to my father-in-law as well. So happy Father's Day to those guys. Happy Father's Day to you, Lee, my golf dad. Thank you for everything you do for me in
You're
my
welcome,
golf life.
son. You're welcome.
Love that. That's beautiful. I've had a great week. So shall we kick the potty off?
Let's get on with it.
First things first, a word from our major sponsors, On Course Golf. On Course are Australia's leading network of pro shops, offering an extensive range of golf equipment, including golf clubs, golf balls, apparel, and accessories from all the major brands. Plus, you can search for lessons and clinics from qualified PGA pros and club fitting events in your local area. With 80 sellers nationwide, the On Course site offers a wide selection to meet all of your golfing needs. On Course is a little bit different to your normal online golf retailers. When buying from On Course, you're not purchasing from a Globo giant warehouse or a shop on the high street.
That's right, Tommy. You're actually buying directly from the team who know the game better than anyone. The PGA Professional and their local club pro shops. You can conveniently shop online with options for home delivery and click and collect. Go check out the website at www.oncoursegolf.com.au. Check it out. There's some great stuff. Well done, On Course, for helping us out once again.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate your support so much. You're making a whole lot of things we're doing possible. That's awesome. Now,
let's get into it.
First things first.
Yes.
Our new segment, which I was previously referring to as Clarify For Me, I'm changing the name here. I'm going out on a limb. I'm taking some affirmative action. People have continued to tell me that the podcast is a little bit like coming into the pro shop. So this section is now going to be called The Pro Shop, baby.
The Pro Shop. I like
Here
it.
We're going to deal with my questions, the questions from viewers and listeners and friends of the pod. So this week, I have a fantastic question for you. It kind of carries on from something I said in the pod a little while ago. So let me read this to you. Guys, great podcast and enjoying it a lot. Huge tick, great start, fantastic email.
Yeah, they'll get invited back.
Yeah, you can stay. Tommy, you said in last week's episode, the best swings I've ever made on a par 5 are my layup shots. They always come out so pure. And I couldn't agree more. Light bulb moment. The 3rd and the 11th at Bankstown are always layup holes for me, and I always play them so easily. My mindset is just relaxed and I don't try and force the shot. My trouble is they're the only 2 shots for the entire day that I feel comfortable over. What do you guys suggest is a way we can get ourselves into that mindset more often? Now, as a golfer who is almost never comfortable out there, I'm going to let you answer this one, Lee.
Well, that's a great question, and I'm sure a lot of people who listen have had this situation, including myself, probably yourself, Tom.
Yeah, because this is me to a T.
What I can say is there's nothing more dangerous than a golfer who doesn't care if they hit a bad shot or not. So what do I mean by that? So laying up, you're basically just aiming at an area down on the fairway. You pick a club that's not going to get you into trouble most of the time.
Yeah.
And you just swing freely.
Yeah.
So you don't, not that you don't not care about where it goes, but you know that if it's a little offline, you're still going to be okay because that's why you're laying up and that's why you're taking the safer option, or layup Lee. That's been coined a bit around my club. Ways to get into it more, ways to get into that mindset more is you've got to have a really solid pre-shot routine, I think. And you've got to follow that pre-shot routine regardless of the weather, the situation, how you're feeling, how you're playing. If you follow it every time, when you get a little bit nervous, if you stick to that pre-shot routine, you're going to be okay most of the time. So a good pre-shot routine is key to hitting a good shot. Pre-shot routine, pick how far you need to hit it, pick where you want to aim it, pick the club you need, have a look at the conditions. It doesn't need to take a long time. You don't even need to take a practice swing, to be honest. But just pick it and hit it. Just like throwing a tennis ball or throwing something to your friend. You don't really think about the technique side of it. You sort of throw something to them that normally hits them on the chest. So a good pre-shot routine, super important. So you can basically hit shots like you're laying up all day and you'll have 40-odd points, hopefully. So good pre-shot routine is probably my number one thing to work on there.
Okay. I hear this said a lot. Like it's big on socials. Almost all golf pros who are like putting content out are talking about pre-shot routines. What does a good pre-shot routine actually need to involve? Because at the moment, I kind of put the ball on the tee on like, if we're talking about a tee shot on a par 3, for example, I kind of pick something, like a tree or something behind the flag that I'm aiming at, set my grip up, and then away I go.
A good pre-shot routine, one, shouldn't take too long.
Yep.
Two, should, like I said, be the same every time.
Yeah.
And you've just got to get into your own, cadence, get your own rhythm going. So I know when I'm playing, and it's something little I do, is that when I pull my glove on and I pull the Velcro over and I rip it and put it on, I know that is that when I'm in the shot. Okay. And then I hit the shot. And as soon as that shot's done, I rip the Velcro off, and that's the end of that's my post-shot routine done. So a good pre-shot routine should be clear. You should pick basically most people have got lasers or Arcos or whatever they use these days. Pick the distance.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the first club you think of is the right club. Don't second guess yourself. Pick the target and away you go. It shouldn't take too long.
So it's almost like meditative, like getting you into like the right state of mind and like following your process, maybe as like a stress reliever, is a way to help you kind of almost switch off a little bit and stop thinking so much.
Yeah, you get rid of the outside noise. You just hit.
Okay.
My example would be is when you're on the putting green before you go out and play and you're chatting to your mates, and you're just hitting putts, and they're all dropping in. Or you're just hitting chip shots, mucking around, or just hitting shots into the net. You're not thinking about it too much. You never seem to miss the middle. So if you can get in that same rhythm, good pre-shot routine, good post-shot routine, and do that every time, the key is it doesn't need to be too long.
Yeah, okay. So Mark, it sounds like if you don't have a really solid pre-shot routine, that might be a really good place to start. If you do, I'd love to hear about what your pre-shot routine looks like. Maybe Lee can kind of chat you through how that's going. So please let us know. Thank you for the question. And if all else fails, I find that I really relax when I mentally give up on the round and I play my best golf after that. So if you just get 8 shots down in a Stableford match and just let go, maybe you'll really switch on.
That's what happens though. That's that dangerous. Nothing more dangerous than a golfer who doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, you accidentally make a birdie and you're like, man, I'm in this.
You're late in the round and you're like, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to hit it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you just free up and you hit it and you hit a good shot and you go, that'll bring me back next week.
That's when I play my
We've got to get
golf.
in that early, not late.
Yeah. Okay, so we might unpack that a little bit more over the next few weeks. Mark, we'd love to hear how you go. We'd love to hear about your pre-shot routine. Please let us know. Now, Lee, my next favourite thing to do on the pod is Like It, Don't Like It. My favourite segment.
This is your favourite, isn't it, Tommy?
I love it. Sometimes I just don't know whether or not something's cool or not, and you just kind of give me some advice and some feedback.
I'm judge of cool, am I?
Yeah. Well, grain of salt, judge.
Yeah. Fair enough.
This week, I want to talk about something that I'm pretty sure we don't like. Fitzy might kill me. Fitzy the greenskeeper might kill me. But like it, don't like it, cord greens. Where do we sit on cord greens?
It's a necessary evil, people.
I know, but they just,
It's a necessary evil for your. So I'm no greenkeeper, and this, everybody who walks onto a golf course thinks they are a greenkeeper, but I am no greenkeeper.
Yeah,
but I do know that I speak to the experts, and they say when they call the greens because they got to get all that material out of the ground, they got to get the oxygen in, they got to get the water in, they got to get the nutrients in, and the disease doesn't. So they don't do it to annoy you. Cord greens, necessary evil. If you don't like it, don't play for a week or two. and get over it.
Okay.
What I do notice though is that the higher handicap here,
Yeah.
the person who struggles with their putting and struggles with their chipping loves chord greens.
Yeah. Okay.
You see 44 points, and I had a 46 points at my club last week on chord greens. And if you've got questionable chipping and putting, for some particular reason, you can just sit up there and bash it. The ball stays somewhere around near the hole, and away you go.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
If you're a really good putter, you love fast greens, you're going to struggle on chord greens, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I am by no means a low marker. I would say I'm a medium marker. I do putt better than my handicap, and at the moment, via Arcos, I am putting better than scratch. So, like, that's an area that I think I do quite well. Putting the chord greens, they just hit me for 6. I feel like I played the other day at
But that's
Stratfield.
the theory, isn't it? You putt better than scratch, so you hate chord greens.
Yeah, so I agree with you there. So I suppose my question is, if putting is a big part of my game, or like a thing that I quite often do quite well, when the greens are chord, how do I shift my focus, or like what do I need to be thinking about to work on things if I can't putt very well because of course conditions?
Okay, so if you, it's a lottery, isn't it, the chord green? But I think I would have a heavier putter. I'd play the ball further forward in my stance to get it on top of the sand.
Yeah.
So if you've got a mallet, if you're a golfer, you've got more than one putter. All right, that's probably most golfers, if they're honest, have got more than one putter.
Note to self: I need a new putter. Buy my flowers.
Pop down to the on-course website and get yourself a new putter. Play the ball a bit further forward in your stance.
Yeah.
What I will say, if the greens are a little wet, you're playing in the morning, be careful you don't get sand stuck on the face.
Yeah.
So make sure you've got a clean putter face before you hit the ball.
Yep.
I probably wouldn't take a practice stroke to guarantee I'm not, or I wouldn't let the putter go anywhere near the ground. I'd wipe the putter face before I'd hit it.
Yep.
Play it further forward. If you're chipping, no lob shots, people, unless you really have to. Get the ball rolling along the ground as quick as you possibly can and running up to the hole.
Yep.
Unless you're really confident, you can just throw it all the way to the pin and
Zip it.
take the lucky bounce. But
Okay. Cool.
that would be my tip.
So keep the ball on the ground when chipping. Obviously, hit your approach shots well so that you can putt and hit them close. And then when you're putting, be conscious that sand is going to be better.
And if you hit a good putt and it doesn't go in, it bounces and misses, just accept it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
That's good.
It's only golf.
So, like it, don't like it, chord greens, they're a necessary evil. But if you really, really don't like it, maybe you just don't play that week or two.
Have a week off.
Yeah, okay.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
Hang out with the kids or the wife.
Yeah,
or something. Cool. Good advice.
Go to the range. Go to the range and hit
even.
some balls.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Next thing. We got to hit some exciting clubs last week, didn't we?
This was fun.
We had the new Callaway irons, the AI 200, the AI 300, and the Apex Titanium in our hands.
Well, I'm in the studio, Tommy, so I'll
you-
put them up against the camera if people want to
You
see.
got them?
Yeah. So if you can see that, I'm
They
just
are,
looking. That's the 300. The 200s here as well. I've been fitting all week with these suckers. They're going well.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
And
rocket launchers, hey?
And there's a really sexy new one, which is the Apex Titanium, which is, it goes a long way, that thing.
It is.
Yep.
Generates some ball speed.
You
doesn't
basically need one iron and 15 wedges.
it? Just one driving iron. And then,
It goes miles.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we unfortunately didn't have extra stiff shafts as part of the fitting package. So we've hit them. We have some opinions about them. We've filmed the first kind of half of a video. We are just waiting on some extra stiff shafts because we don't really feel like we can judge them fairly without a shaft that is going to work appropriately.
Well, we want to use the same type of shaft that you use, Tommy. I think, to be fair to the Callaway, it was performing well, but we want to compare it to what you use. So we're just waiting on a shaft. Exactly right.
Totally. And we're super impressed by them. They're long. We just want to see if we can tighten the dispersion up a little bit because I couldn't really find the face. So Well, look,
That
maybe
could be
that's
that
might
may be the
user
shaft's
error.
problem, or that may be a Tommy problem.
We definitely know it's a Tommy problem, but can we make it less?
Fades.
Yeah, just a couple of push fades. You and that push fade. Putting that on a hat and selling it. So please keep your eyes peeled. Callaway stuff's coming out. The Mizunos and the TaylorMade irons are up on YouTube. Please go check them out, as is the Titleist GT video. That's up there
Going
as well.
really well too. Those two irons performing really well in the studio. So
Yes.
in the club fitting arena, they're going really, really well. So
Those P7 CBs have my name all over them.
Yep.
Watch this space.
Mm-hmm. My son stole my old set.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
so yeah, Noah, look after him, please.
Your golf son. You mother.
Yeah.
I love that. Noah, have fun. Sell them.
No.
Okay. Now we need to talk about something extremely serious. My next segment that we know and love is what I saw online this week.
Oh.
And this is not a lighthearted, funny putter grip on the Olympics podium moment this week.
Oh.
This is some serious stuff. Would you like to know what I saw online?
Yeah, what did you see online, Tommy?
I saw a thing called the shopping cart theory. And I think it just might apply and provide a little bit of further commentary or insight into why we as a podcast and brand are starting to align ourselves with the Sandbucket. So,
The Sandbucket. We love a Sandbucket here.
We do. So in a nutshell, the shopping cart theory essentially states that an individual's capacity to self-govern depends on whether they are the type of person to return the shopping cart or leave it next to their car. The behavior is a testament to someone's moral character. While the theory is debatable, it does raise an interesting question. What could possibly be going on in your life that would cause you to leave the shopping cart near your car and not return it to the stack of shopping carts? And I think this can be applied to the golf Sandbucket.
Or the pool buggy.
Or the pool buggy, right?
Yes.
And I think we are in agreement here, Lee. We as a community want to attract Sandbucket returning golfers. Good guys, fun people to play golf with who can fully self-govern and we don't have to worry about. Is that fair?
Well, who would have thought that we're talking about the people that don't bring sandbuckets back rather than the people who don't take sandbuckets onto the golf course, Tom?
Well, I think, right? I think the type of person, maybe both of those two people are amoral, right? They are lacking moral standing.
Well, you can forget to take,
and
forget to take the sandbucket on.
Don't
so
get me wrong.
let's not.
I've forgotten to take a sandbucket on. I've also forgotten to put a sandbucket back. But I think moving forward,
you can't forget to take it. You know that you've taken it off your buggy and left it next to your car.
Yes, but
you actually did that.
But I think moving forward, it's got to be the type of guy that puts the sandbucket back, right?
Shouldn't be allowed at a golf club if you leave your sandbucket in the car park.
Yeah, and I think you're probably not allowed to listen to the podcast if you leave the sandbucket.
Don't worry
in the car
about
park.
no collared shirts.
Yeah,
if the sandbucket's the big issue now.
Like if we have a Greens and Gains podcast trip, right? We go golfing, and you leave the sandbucket in the car park. Maybe you're not invited back. I don't know.
Maybe we're just not for you, Tommy.
I like that.
The shopping cart theory.
So the sandbucket theory. What I want you to take away from this week is, if you're the kind of guy that doesn't put the sandbucket back, lift, do better. Right? I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. If you've ever, it's okay. We forgive you, but it's time to move on.
But this will be the last time. There's no more forgiveness from this.
The stuff you see online is.
I like that. I thought that was good. I thought it was a fun segment this week.
Yeah, no, good job.
Stay tuned. Watch this space.
Like that. Not a lot of skiing being done this week for you, obviously.
No, lots of thinking about the listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to the next, my friend. Course management. Now this segment has become a beast in and of its own right.
This has been enormous. I can't believe the amount of people who send stuff in.
I am now receiving live updates from whoever was on last week as they play the hole. They text me between shots. It's wild. So, Jordan.
How are we going? How are we going? Oh, Geordie.
Jordan, we know, was the one who pulled the 8-iron into the trees. We saw the shit lie. You laughed about why he didn't chip out, right?
Yeah.
Jordan has done better. Welcome
There's
back.
Another update.
Jordan. welcome back to the winner's circle. Better this week. He was texting me today. We knocked 4 iron short of the bunker. We hit 6 iron onto the green into the wind from about 155. So he
Has
said
been windy too. Has been
he
windy.
said had to take 2 extra clubs. I think he's just trying to tell us how far he hits it. That's okay. Knocks it on. And the man who has never birdied this hole, had a real, pure and genuine look at birdie this week.
How about that for layup, Lee? Huh?
Eat
How
it,
about
Tony.
that?
Eat it. No. Did he make birdie? No.
Please tell me he two-putted.
He two-putted.
Hey, well done. Well done.
So we know that 30% of the time Jordan was making double bogey here. Par is massive. It's 5-3. That's huge. We have a shot here. 4-3. Sorry, 4-3.
4-3.
And then, you can 3-putt for 5-2. Massive. And I think he stuck it to like 10 to 15 feet. I've got a
Well
photo.
done.
I'll
Well
throw it
done.
up for you. This is now Jordan's second round consecutively in the 70s. So,
Handicap's coming down. It's
handicap's
coming down.
Just remember 10% of your winnings, mate. That's all we ask.
That's
all we
brilliant.
ask.
That's brilliant. Well done. Well done on sticking to the plan. I know the first time you hit a rope hook, but
Yeah, and I actually think there's an unusual phenomenon occurring here where the first time somebody asks us for advice, they make like triple because they're so scared they have to tell us how it went next time.
yes.
Brother Josh up at Nelson Bay, he didn't. He's fine. He's a player. Everybody else has played the hole incredibly poorly after we've helped them the first time and then pretty well since.
Yeah. Well done. That's great. So we can now put this one to bed. We can move on to the next person next week.
Well, yes.
There's so many.
We have some more. Luke from last week at Mona.
Oh, yes.
He played today. I was also getting live updates.
Oh, okay.
He sent me some very, very funny voice notes that I can't save, so I can't get them in here. But roasted 2 iron off the tee, tried to take a little bit less.
Roasted.
Roasted. He hit it better than he ever has, he reckons.
Right. Okay. Roasted.
Now,
Strong word.
unfortunately, wind's blowing off the left to right, water's on the right. And Luke, not knowing his own strength, was not aggressive enough with his line. Right? Didn't really realise that he could take it a whole lot further left than he did. Put it in the drink.
So he hit it in the water anyway.
Hit it in the water anyway.
So he's roasted it off the tee straight into the lake.
Yeah, and I think he said he got a
I love
bad
this.
kick.
Would it be a power
wind's
fade?
off the
Power
left?
fade?
Could be a push fade. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's made a good 5 after
Okay.
after dropping 2 and hitting 3. So he still had 5-2, right?
Okay, so we're away. So you can hit one in the water and still get 2 points.
Which means that, God forbid, he gets a little bit more aggressive with his line and, hits a committed shot and backs himself. I reckon we're 4-3 easy.
Next week. I want an update next week.
Stay tuned. Now, we've had a couple of mid-markers to low markers asking for help. This week, our course management crash course question is a little bit different. So, could you and Tom give some thought to, this is an email from a listener, to a mid-ish handicapper who will always hit a fair few poor shots in most rounds. Not necessarily the wrong shot choice, and as you know, we don't mind bad shots.
We don't like dumb ones.
We do not accept dumb ones. But perhaps they just didn't hit the ball well. They pull it, they slice it, whatever.
That's a bad shot. Yeah, that happens.
We live with those. Dumb shots, straight to prison. So, should an 18 handicapper just focus on bogey golf? What about on holes like the 14th, which is the old 5th hole at Bankstown Golf Club? Say 310 metres from the whites. Some bogey golf advocates would suggest something like 8 iron plus 8 iron, 2 times 130 metres, to about 50 metres out. An easy pitch shot and then 2 putts equals bogey. But really? 210 metre drive plus 90 metre pitching wedge plus 2 putts equals par. At what point does bogey golf hurt more than help? You could say when you're always hitting a fairway, go for par, but would anybody go back to short iron on a 300 metre par 4? Remember, hitting a dud shot is common for most local golfers, whether it's a 130 metre 8 iron or a 210 metre drive. So in my mind, bogey golf can be a little bit of a lottery, depending on the day. Are local golfers being pushed in the wrong direction? Peter, what a wonderful question. I'm impressed.
He's thought about that question.
Oh, yeah, and it's well written. I'm really pleased.
Very articulate.
Yeah, great scenario. Yeah. I'll put the whole up for you guys at home so that you can see. I think I know what I would do, which is probably the wrong thing. So do you want to go first, Lee, or do you want me to go first?
I would say hit a shot off the tee that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So don't stand there and go, I should hit a 5-iron to lay up because Lee said so.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. If you're comfortable and you might find that driver is the best club in the bag for you, take your driver, get it down there. Now, if you hit it in the rough or hit it in the trees, you've got to be pretty unlucky not to be able to chip it out and advance it forward 50 or 60 metres, probably only leaving yourself 80 metres in anyway.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that fair on this 300-metre hole?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And like in the context of an 18 marker, if you can't like chip a 5-iron out sideways and gain 50 metres from most of your tree line lies, maybe that's where we should be working.
Take your medicine, chip it out, and move on, because hitting an iron off the tee, you still need to hit a good shot.
You've almost got to hit 3 good shots that way, don't you?
Yeah, and the hole that we're talking about here is a tough hole, and it's not an easy pitch shot, because if anybody's played the 5th hole at Bankstown / the new 14th, but it's the hole that's got the bunker that surrounds the front of the green. There's no way to chip and run it up. So the only way you can give yourself a great chance on that hole is that if you've got a fair swing from the fairway.
Yeah, the wedding cake.
The wedding cake hole.
And the green is hard. There are like 3 very clear like sections of the green, and if you're in the wrong one, it's a tricky 2-putt anyway. So
I would say hit a shot off the tee that you genuinely feel comfortable with,
as opposed to
hitting
3 9-irons or
3 7-irons. You know, like that's. Let's get up there and let's hit a nice drive down there. If we get on the fairway, great. We still got to make a decision whether we go for the green or not.
Yep.
And then, but if you hit in the rough, no, that's okay. You've got to be really, really unlucky to be stuck behind a tree and not be able to advance it out onto the fairway.
Yep. And like the science brain in me says distance is king, and you always want to be closer to the hole, like with a second shot, right? Like closer to the hole blocked out by a tree, not so good. The caveat maybe for this particular hole, for me, would be 210, I think, puts you right on line with that fairway
trap. Yeah, on the left. Yep.
And that fairway trap is steep enough that if you roll into it, you are chipping out, like you're hitting a sand wedge and lining up.
But if you do hit it into the bunker, you can still flop it out of the bunker and you've got a pitch shot in, so you're okay.
Yeah, totally, but I would probably try and hit something I'm comfortable with that won't be in the bunker.
Yeah.
So like I know from the whites and blues it's in play, from the it's out of play, I can go over it. From the blacks it's in, so I hit iron from the blacks because I don't want to go in it. I want a clear, unobstructed second shot.
For me personally, I always hit driver on that hole because I know I can cover the bunker, the fairway bunker, and then after the fairway bunker, the fairway actually gets wider.
Yep. Oh, interesting story here.
Yeah.
I played with Dom. I played with someone who is coached by Dom as a party, who is Herbie's coach, Lucas Herbert. And I was playing the young Bankstown player he was coaching, lovely guy, and I just kind of sidled up next to him and said, "Hey man, you're a professional. What do you hit here?" And he said exactly the same thing. He said, "Beyond the bunker, the landing zone is actually bigger.
It's bigger.
Take the bunker on.
Yeah, take it on if you can cover it comfortably.
If you can cover it. So interesting. We would love to know what you hit next week.
Yeah, please. Great question, Pete. I want to hear how you go on that.
And I'd love to hear when you're standing on that tee box, having had to think about things, like where does your brain go first? What's the club that you feel comfortable with? Is it driver? Is it 9-iron? Is it something between them? And how did it go? So please feed back to us. And if you are a mid or a high handicapper with a course management question, we also want to cater for you. This is not just for 5s and 6s and scratch markers or 18 markers. It's for everybody. So if you have a question, send it in. We will get to it.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, we've had some fun with Arcos, and we have some things to work on, don't we, my friend?
It's been great. Arcos has been great. So, Tom, I played 9 holes last time we spoke. On Friday, I was lucky enough. I went and played out at New South Wales Golf Club, where I'm a member.
Fancy.
And it was my last round of golf before they closed the golf course. Well, it is Monday morning. We're talking to you. They closed the golf course for 6 months for full renovations.
Man, okay.
Very excited about seeing the finished product, but I don't get to play golf there for 6 months, which is fine for me. I played okay. I drove the ball well.
Yeah.
The wind was up.
Yeah.
Pretty standard New South Wales day. And I used Arcos for full 18 holes.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
The one thing I noticed is that it gives you wind direction and it tells you, what club you could be hitting and how far it will be playing. It gives you temperature,
Right.
the whole thing, which I'm halfway through the round and I've told my playing partner, I said, well, listen, I've broken the rules today. So this is, I can't play in a comp because of all this extra stuff. But I did notice that you can turn it on to tournament mode.
Okay. That's
So
good
if
to
you're
know.
using Arcos golf is the only game on the planet where you can call a penalty on yourself.
Right. So if you're playing in your weekly Saturday or like midweek,
Yeah, you need to have it on tournament mode.
Got it. Cool. Good to know.
But it told me one thing, Tommy, which I already knew. I thought I knew. I've got a massive gap between
Your teeth.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Where's the gap?
Yeah, between my pitching wedge
Yeah.
and my 54 degree.
Okay.
30
How big?
meters.
Oh,
30 meters.
That's the wrong end of the bag to have.
Yes,
that big,
mate.
isn't it?
So, and I'm embarrassed to say that I should have known that. I knew there was something wrong,
So
but I haven't played a lot of golf.
let me just ask you a couple of questions to help people understand this. Your pitching wedge travels how far? Carry?
It's about 120.
And then your 54 goes how far?
It's about 90.
Okay.
Pretty good at math. See that? You tested me there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do we do about that? What are you going to do about that?
So I'm going to put the pitching wedge from my MC set in the bag
Yep.
because I had a 48 TaylorMade MG4.
Right.
And I'm removing that. So I'm putting the pitching wedge in. I'm removing the 48 and I'm putting a 50 degree in,
Right.
MG4.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go from my pitching wedge to a 50, then a 54, then a 58.
Right. And so your current pitching wedge is 48 degrees. What will the MC pitching wedge be?
So the MC pitching wedge is around about the 46. So we're going to be, I'll have it at 46. So we'll have the same amount of loft difference between
Clubs.
my
4
wedges.
degrees rather than 6 degrees.
Yeah, rather than 6. And it's a cavity back, so it goes a little further. So I had a 48 MG4, which I was using as a traditional pitching wedge, which definitely doesn't go as far as the MC. So that's why I had this big gap.
Okay.
So if I'm doing that, there are people out there with gaps in their bags, and Arcos can help, or getting on a TrackMan in the studio and doing that will definitely help you. So
now, I don't know if you've worked out that you can do this yet, but I have because I've been tinkering with some things in Arcos. Can you, when you take the sensor off your MG4, your wedge,
yes,
when you put it on the MC, the set wedge you're going to put into the bag as opposed to like the wedge, can you put it in and set it up as a new club?
Yes.
And
I was looking at that.
Shift the stuff around because that way we can show people the difference in carry.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Awesome.
So,
Matt.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
So we've discovered a gap. We're going to fix it. We're going to see how it affects scores. How did you go Stableford points wise?
Well, I didn't play the comp, so
you DQ'd yourself.
So I probably would have had about 33, I reckon, in a windy day off +1.
We'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah,
you know,
I was happy with the way I played.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. My thoughts so far. I played. I have established some places that I need to do. I need to get to work. I played holiday golf. I threw the sticks in the car. We're down in Victoria, at Hotham. And just at the base of the mountains there's a little town called Bright, and they have a beautiful little golf course. It's amazing. I love it down there. So I played 18 holes there, scorecard in my pocket, but no comp or anything. I had an 81, so 9 over. I was pretty pleased with that. I gained strokes on a 10 marker there, so that's good.
That's good, Tommy.
However, I'm losing. I lose a couple of shots to scratch, which is the ultimate goal. I lose 3.5 in my approach and 3.5 in my short game. I gain in my putting a little bit, and I lose a little bit with driver. Driver traditionally has been terrible for me. So to only lose a shot or so to scratch, huge, massive, we'll take that. I don't love that I'm not ball striking particularly well, so I'd like to see those numbers come up. So this week, lots of range time.
Yes.
And if you are out at Bankstown Golf Course, you will see me standing around that putting and chipping green, working with a wedge. I need to be a little bit tidier from inside of 30 metres. So watch this space.
Loving the Arcos. Loving it.
It's nice. It is confirmed what I suspected, that it's like you need to spend a bit more time around the green. You're not chipping as well as you think you are.
The one thing I like about it is that the people at Arcos are going to give me the ability to have access to my students' data.
Oh, yeah.
So once that's set up, I'm sure there's people who listen to this pod. They can send me their data if they wish, and we can have a look at it. So I know now it's going to help me as a golf coach and as a club fitter to make sure people haven't got gaps in the bag, and two, what are we actually working on?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No good working on something we don't know what we're working on.
I'll set that up. Once we work out how to do that, I will send you my data.
I look forward to seeing your data.
Start to pick my stats apart.
I haven't seen it on the dashboard, but is there a section there for push fades?
I hate you so much.
We've had some feedback this week about Tommy's push fades and the fact that I called Bundaberg rum cane champagne.
Yeah.
And if you're a Queenslander, you get it. Or if you drink like the UDLs, it's called a black rat. But it's a Queensland thing, so I am sorry about that.
That's okay. We forgive you. If you don't bring your
segment.
Sandbucket back, though, you're dead to us.
Yes, I am.
Okay, now the final thing we need to talk about this week, my favourite segment, and this week, I asked you for more last week. I asked you to set aside the limits and step out of your comfort zone and really bring the heat this week. What's bothering you this week, buddy? Lee, what's upset you?
What's upset me this week? It's a little different, but what upsets me is that when the golfer comes into the pro shop and goes, if only Adam Scott was a good putter. That upsets me.
Why?
So if you're one of those people that walks into your local pro shop or says in passing, geez, I wish Adam Scott could putt, you're a goose. You upset me because just Google Adam Scott's putting stats this year. Google it this week in the Tour Championship. Google his career.
He's not losing to the field, is he?
The guy...
He's a freak.
He can putt.
Yeah.
He can putt. How many consecutive majors is he playing?
Yeah.
Played.
91.
How many President's Cups has he made?
11.
He won a US Masters on arguably the hardest putting course all year.
And people reckon he can't putt.
And they still say, if only Adam could putt better, you're a goose. Stop it. You make no sense. You're ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. Go back to watching footy on TV.
Get him. I also think
I'm obvious.
I reckon it's a little bit of jealousy too, right? He's sponsored by Uniqlo, who really only sponsor the two biggest gentlemen in those in the country club sort of world of sport, being Roger Federer and Adam Scott. So that's pretty
it's like
high
saying
praise.
Roger Federer can't serve.
Yeah.
Oh, if only Roger had a backhand.
And Adam has the prettiest golf swing in the game, mate.
Oh, yeah, but...
Free Scotty.
Just
Get
leave
off his
him
back, you
alone.
dogs.
Leave him alone. The same people will line up for hours to get a photo with him.
Yeah.
You know, or can you get a signature off him? Or
the sort of people who say that, they probably don't take their golf bucket, their sand buckets back.
Well, they don't know it. They don't. Yeah, you know what? They know nothing about the game of golf. They're ignorant.
I like it.
And stop saying it.
Thank you for bringing the heat this week, mate. I love that.
Because that upset me this week.
It's really set you off.
It's upset me forever.
All right. Last thing we need to do this week. Next week, let's talk about what's on the pod. We are going to bring you a comprehensive form guide. Rules, regulations, bookies picks for the Benchmark Cup. We're going to preview the Benchmark Cup. Lee and I are going to be playing.
It's on.
A game of golf. Dinner is on the line. It is going to be our sort of... We're going to establish... Steak dinner. We're going to establish where we're at, We're going to then have some things to work on through the next few months. We'll play again at the end of the year. We're going to bring you the rules, the regulations. We're going to get the bookies in. They're going to run you through who you should put your money on.
Always gamble responsibly.
Always gamble responsibly. There won't be any gambling.
With your head not over it. Yep.
And we're also going to bring you the second half of the Callaway review, plus some more course management, more gear, more fun. So thanks for coming along on the ride with us this week. We'll see you soon.
It's been fun. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you out in the course.